The Winston Modified Tour for NASCAR's National Championship comes down to its final 75 laps. Reggie Ruggiero trails Mike Stefanik by just 1 point, with Tony Hirschman 40 points back, and after 75 laps at Thompson, Connecticut, one will be national champion.
Number 6. And here he is, the point leader by 1 small point. In his biggest number here, Mike Stefanik.
Number 9.
9.
Got to be somewhere, right? It's 4.
7.
Number 7.
I'll kick you in there. Get my book back. 5.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Oh, I got pole shotted.
10. Front row is the only thing left.
There it is.
Front row.
There it is.
Number 2.
In 1988, the story here at the Thompson International Speedway would have been the story of a champion. Mike McLaughlin was the champion then. He has held the title well, but now 1989 is about to close, and a new name will be added to the impressive list of winners, the champion of the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour. Today, it's being put to the test, the final event of the 1989 season. Mike Stefanik leads by 1 point going into the competition. Mike, by luck of the draw, where do you start this event?
Ben, we start 9th.
Is that good or bad in a situation like this with all the pressure and all the bucks and the glory on the line?
Well, we all wanted the pole, but Tony got the pole, so just going to make a better race for the fans.
Let's talk about the last lap in the competition. Before the race even begins, if it comes down to the wire, Reggie is running in front of you, you're right there behind him, what will you do? It's go for all the gusto, the final chance.
Well, it'll be kind of one of them checkers or wreckers situation. I'm going to just plain throw it in the hole. If there's any hole there, that car's going in it. We come out golden, we come out golden. I'm sure that's the same way he's going to look at it. It'll be some good, hard, aggressive driving. No cheap shots, nothing like that. Just flat out go.
Never in the history of this sport in modified racing has there been a competition quite like what we're about to see today. Reggie, you finished in the number 2 spot before. You're long overdue. It's just 1 point. You're starting in position
number 6, Ben.
Good spot to start or not?
The outside here at Thompson on the start of a race is sort of a little bit of an advantage because you can keep your RPMs up, and being going into the corner with the banking, the guys on the outside have the faster lane. So it's a little bit of an advantage. I have a good outside row. George Kent on the pole and Ricky Fuller's right in back of him, and I'm back of him starting 6th. So, you know, right at the beginning we should be in good shape. I don't know how long our car will go fast, but I hope it goes fast for 75 laps.
Let's reverse the psychology. If Mike Stefanik's leading the final lap of the event, you're right there in his back bumper. You finished 2nd a lot of times before. Today you want position number 1. What's your strategy?
Well, the fans will never see a better last lap than the one that's going to be tonight.
And then there's factor number 3. You might consider him a long shot in the competition. Well, maybe not, because he'll be starting right up front in position number 1. It is car number 1, a gentleman that has been a long shot for a lot of folks at the start of 1989. But now he is a contender for the title. You're starting up front. Never all season long have I seen you as excited as you were today when you pulled position number 1. What's your strategy starting in the number 1 spot?
Well, this basically evens the point spread out right now. I'm starting to pull Reggie 6th and Stefanik's 9th. That's about evens the points right out, you know, so we're all even with the start of this race. It's just a matter of if we can stay up front the whole race and just see what them guys do on behind. And we can go on to win this race. That would make our season.
We asked them, if Reggie was behind Stefanik in the last lap or vice versa, what if you were behind the both of them going for the gusto?
Well, I really wouldn't have that much to gain. So I probably wouldn't do too much, but just follow them and, you know, finish and just let them two guys go at it the whole race. That's all I can hope for, and, you know, see what happens.
If you will, start your engine.
Let's send them off in grand style as the Thompson Speedway fans react positively. A big wave. The drivers waving back. They're ready to go the distance. And they appreciate your support.
Field heads down the back straightaway as the caution lights are off on the pace car. Hirschman and Kent, the front row. McLaughlin and Rick Fuller, row number 2. Pace car high on the racetrack, stands on the throttle, ducks for cover, and here comes 30 of the fastest modified tour cars set to take the green flag in the race that will decide it all. Over 30, maybe even $50,000 on the line here today. We come off turn 4.
It is Kent. But all of a sudden, off the turn, comes car number 1 for Tony Hirschman, and Hirschman moves out in the lead. Experiencing some problems in the first turn on the first lap, but maybe he's got those all glued back together and back to the start.
Coming out of the race car. As they roll back off turn 2, it looks like the problem has been sorted out. And Ruggiero has stormed up from 6th to 4th place now. In car number 34. Back in 5th is Winston. 6th is McLaughlin. 7th is the 4th.
Successors to the crown are right now in the first position. Car number 1 for Tony Hirschman. So the Art Baring crew is checking over Southern New England X car number 21.
This World Series, and this is how he won the race last year. An outside pull start on a restart. They go into turn 3. This time Hirschman gets a great jump, and Reggie sticks the nose right in there, and here comes Ruggiero as we got trouble in turn 3. Under green, as Rick Fuller was able to fend off Ruggiero, and look at Mike Stefanik. Caution flag back out, and cars pile up out there in turn 4. Everybody manages to skate on through.
Mike Stefanik must have breathed a little sigh of relief, and Reggie Ruggiero appears to have sparks coming out from underneath.
Hebron also with a flat left front tire, the Len Boulder car. Both of those automobiles will come to pit road, and you can see Mario Fiore's crew is ready for the reg to come in.
Nothing ever comes easy for that crew.
We've got 10 laps down. There will be 11 down as Ruggiero comes on pit road. On lap number 10, 44 is in, and the lead bowler number 3 are both on pit road. And George Kent on pit road as well, and Art Berry's 21.
I'll tell you, Lady Luck at the moment is definitely riding with Mike Stefanik as the cars began to pile up just a little bit over there in turn 4. Mike almost got his bumper hooked in with the rear bumper. Modified racing. Carl Bugs Stevens with us here today to the racetrack. Bugs, welcome. Good to see you.
Down into turn 3, Dick Brooks looks to feel over as we are ready to turn him loose here. Second caution of the afternoon. Green flag is out. Hirschman gets the jump. Fuller falls back in line, and here comes the back on the outside. Moves up to the third spot. And the Thompson Speedway warehouse number 15, and he takes over the third position now from Mikey Winitsko as they come out of turn 2. But the driver to watch right now is Ruggiero. And there goes Ricky Fuller. Blast right by Hirschman in a tremendous move. The car slides to the outside of the track as they battle it out. Hirschman down at the bar as they go back to turn 1. And Fuller racing up in front of the pack.
Here comes Fuller again, back down to the inside. They want to swap this lead back and forth, but they're not able to do it at this point. Hirschman on the high side. Fuller, they almost make contact between 3 and 4. Back to the start finish line is Tony Hirschman.
Benjamin Mike Stefanik thinks he was somewhere else because it looks pretty tough up in front right now between Rick Fuller and Tony Hirschman. Those drivers are running on the ragged edge here today. Hirschman knows that his only shot to win the title is to win the race here today, and he is letting it all hang out. Rick Fuller wants to win this race in front of his hometown crowd very, very badly in the shady concrete. Number 77.
I'll take another driver is really putting on a show. That's Mikey Winitsko and Mike McLaughlin. They're going at it tooth and nail in the battle for the 4th spot. Back to turn number 3. It is the one of Hirschman to bring them back off of turn number 4 and down to the start finish line. Hirschman, Fuller, Stefanik, Winitsko, and the 12 of McLaughlin. That's how the top 5 run.
Has restarted. Mike Berry pulling over his car. 1 lap down.
He gets the car out on the racetrack, and suddenly the car has come to a halt. We have a caution on the race.
Ken has now gone 2 laps down as a result of his spin out there. And Rick Fuller pulls up alongside of Hirschman, and they exchange a few words out there.
Flat right rear, the problem for George Kent. Pace car begins to dive in. Here they come. Hirschman runs it up through the gearbox. Off the turn. Green flag is out. Fuller gets a little bit squirrely, but Stefanik does not dive down low. In fact, Winitsko takes it over the high side. And Mike Winitsko battles for that 3rd position. Here comes McLaughlin to the outside of Stefanik. They're headed deep into turn number 3. Mike Stefanik has been dropped back 1 spot, and McLaughlin runs the high side. He's hooked up as they exit turn number 4. Stefanik goes backwards again.
Stefanik pulls back up in line, but he has lost 2 positions. He's now down to 5th. In car number 15, it looks as though he may be playing a little bit conservative here in the early part of the game, but he can't get too far back. He has to finish up in the top 8 if Hirschman remains in the lead. Paul Miller gets very good in turn 4. Almost up to Ricky Summers. Manages to hold on to the race car, and we keep right on rolling.
Completed this 75-lap feature event with Tony Hirschman. Winitsko runs next, then it's McLaughlin, Stefanik, and Fuller to round out that first bunch of cars as they close the strike one more time.
Jeff Fuller begins to crank the pressure on to number 15 of Mike Stefanik as they battle number 81. Steve Park, 8 is the 37. Teddy Christopher, 9th is Bowles, 10th Alessandro. 11th and 12th are now the U2 Toledo and Ruggiero. Past 4 and 5 cars in just a few laps. He is absolutely flying in the 44.
Reggie makes a move up and around Tomato. Off the second turn, he now looks to the rear bumper of Bruce D'Alessandro as Reggie continues his march to the front. Down the low side, looks for running room underneath Bruce Dell. Back to the start finish line. Reggie right alongside of D'Alessandro. Back to turn 1. All eyes on car number 44 as they head back to Rick Fuller, Mike Winitsko, Mike McLaughlin, and
Still, as we've got trouble out there in number 2, we've got the 10 of Avery and the 30 of Dion coming together. Need to keep the race car underway, but we are under yellow for the 4th time this afternoon. This 32 laps in the record books now, and Hirschman still in front, but the charge of the day is Reggie Ruggiero up into the
lead now as Fuller brings the lakeside lumber Superior process number 55 right down pit road.
right side rubber on the automobile. Jeff had pulled up alongside of the 81 of Steve Park, and apparently Park must have given him some indicative starts.
Race cars in, here they come. Hirschman jumps on the throttle as the green flag comes out from Dick Brooks. The Snap-on Tools BFI World Series back underway as Hirschman brings them back to turn number 1. Tony Hirschman, Rick Fuller, Mike Iwanisco, and Mike McLaughlin. Those are the top 4. Then it comes with Steph sliding underneath the 36 and Iwanisco. McLaughlin and Iwanisco putting on a real battle royal for position number 3. Mike Iwanisco gets a little out of shape when he does. McLaughlin drops down low, and they're side by side. At the line, McLaughlin has a slight advantage. Going into the turn, McLaughlin down the bottom. He takes Iwanisco right to the top of the racetrack, and McLaughlin moves into the 3rd position. The Magic Shoes into 3rd spot right now. Hirschman, Fuller, McLaughlin, Iwanisco, and Stefanik. That's how the top 5 run is. Fuller takes another piece to the inside. Reggie tries to find running home underneath Tom Bowles, but Bowles
35 laps to go. It's time on. 35 to go. He's completed the 40th circuit. And Ruggiero is running that low through, trying to get by Bowles as they come off turn 4. He's got it. He's up to 8th spot now. In car number 44, up in front. Tim Christopher. Then the 81 Steve Park. And then the target car. The number 15 of Mike Stefanik. And he has that automobile inside of him. He is clearly going to work right now. On the outside of Timmy Christopher in turn 2. Here comes the Reg. He's on the outside. He's got 6th spot. And he is on.
Reggie but 1 spot away from the position he wants right now. Off the turn, here he comes. Down to the line, Reggie and Stevie Park. Side by side into the turn. Ruggiero driving the wheels off of that race car. Off the 2nd turn, down that long back straightaway. Reggie Ruggiero giving his best shot this afternoon. Back to the line. Stefanik with about a half a straightaway advantage over Reggie. As they go back to the lead car with Tony Hirschman. The 77 of Fuller
Ruggiero as they head down to turn number 1. I'm sure Stefanik's group is total. And then Stefanik as we go running this race down. About 30 laps to go. It's about a half straightaway advantage.
McLaughlin makes a move underneath Fuller, and he moves up to challenge for the 2nd spot.
The man with the Magic Shoes is on the move. He's underneath Fuller. Gets sideways. Saves the race car. And McLaughlin is up to the runner-up spot in car number 12. Great run for Magic Shoes. He started in the 3rd spot. And he's worked his way to the runner-up spot. He is on the warpath trying to get by Hirschman. To his back car on the back straightaway. Great racing up front.
We've got a spin. Dan Avery has gone around coming off of turn number 4, and this will bring out the caution. This is what Ruggiero has been looking for. This
5th caution of the afternoon is out. As Dan Avery, he's right back up there in the thick of things. And all he has to do is pass one more car. One more spot for the national championship. Green flag is out.
Let's see what happens. Here comes your leader. Car number 1, Tony Hirschman, is out in front. McLaughlin, we've got problems. And Rick Summers goes around with car number 91. And has been able to do it on both dirt and asphalt surfaces. Base car is in. Green flag back out. Here they come. Down to the line. Hirschman and McLaughlin. Fuller, Iwanisco, and Reggie is right on the rear bumper of Mike Stefanik.
Reggie, of course, carving his way up through traffic, really had to abuse the tires. Stefanik looked like he may have been taking a conservative run, waiting for this opportunity as Reggie comes in, taps the back bumper of Stefanik. We've got 2 or 3 battles to First tags the wall in turns 3 and 4, and that brings out the 6th caution of the afternoon. Rick tags the wall in the Billy Simons number 9 and brings out the caution.
Philip Evans, please report to the announcer's booth. Philip Evans to the announcer's booth.
7 laps to go. They come off turn 4, and we're racing a 7-lap shootout. It's Stefanik wisely as he has to get some space between himself and Ricky Fuller. As they roll down in turn 1, Stefanik now has some racetrack to work with to play off Reggie Ruggiero's challenges. Stefanik's car, McLaughlin's car, bombs out as it goes into turn 3. They come to the line. 6 laps to go. Fuller right up against the wall as he comes off turn. 20 the tires off the car. He's trying to clip down the lead. Here it comes. Magic shoes McLaughlin on the inside.
Mike takes it down low, but Hirschman is able to hold on. Back to turn number 3. Hirschman and McLaughlin. This time by just 5 laps to go.
The season has come down to 5 laps, and Reggie Ruggiero almost had the wall for the first time. Coming out of turn 4 as he
to set the pace as they lead the event. Here comes Reggie down to the bottom of the track. The door gets slammed shut by the 15 of Stefanik. Back to turn number 1. It continues to be the 15 of Stefanik out in front. To go, just 2 as McLaughlin dives way to the bottom of the track. No room that time. He drops it back in. Reggie and Stefanik. This is it. A lap and a half away from roughly $50,000 in championship benefits. Reggie back in there, pounding the rear bumper of Mike McLaughlin, and they head back to the stripe. Into turn 1. It is the one of Hirschman. McLaughlin looks to the low side. Reggie tries going up high. Can't find any running room there. Has to drop back down. Into turn 3. Here comes the leader. It is Magic Shoes. Mike McLaughlin to the inside. Can't make it. Hirschman, McLaughlin, and Mike Stefanik will claim the championship. Absolutely incredible finish as Tony Hirschman takes down the win. He won the battle, has won the war.
You don't want to see this. Wow. I can't believe it. He was honest, man.
One finger. Hold your finger up.
She won't hold it.
She won't do it because you want her. Mike, for a while in the beginning of the race, it looked like Reg had his problems coming from the back of the pack, but those final 10 laps still decided the whole thing. Tell us how you felt during those final 10.
I'll tell you, if you think I wasn't nervous, I was nervous. Reggie's a great competitor. He had the quicker car. We were quick early, but the tires just seemed to grease up on us. We went with harder tires than what they did, and obviously the softer ones were better. Mike McLaughlin had soft ones on, and so did Reggie. And Reg was trying me on the bottom. I knew I had to block the bottom, and hey, I did what I had to do to win the race. I did what he would have did, and I'll tell you, our whole family and the crew and everybody, I'm just ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. I had tears in my eyes. I don't cry over races, but I'll tell you, it's just championships. They won with a lot of luck, and we had the luck tonight. You know, last week we didn't. We broke a piston and Reggie caught right up. It made a dramatic race for the fans as well as for our crew and myself, and we're just real happy to come out the champs.
Early in the event, when Reggie went to the pits with a flat tire, did your crew mention that to you at that point?
I just said, Reggie's got a problem. I see some smokes and some sparks coming out from underneath his car. I said, I don't know. He's left front. He has a problem with his left front. Believe me, we don't jump up and down. I didn't crack a smile, nothing. He drove by me when I was smoking last week, and he realized, hey, a lot of this is luck, and we're both real super competitors, the crews. We're going to go up to the clubhouse, and we're going to have a good time, and they'll be there, and hey, it's one of them things. I'm just happy we come out on top.
Looking back at the season, for a while you had a tremendous point lead, then Martinsville came around, then suddenly it all changed for you. Did you feel confident going in?
I felt confident. Deep down inside, my gut feeling said we were going to win. I thought our car would run better than it did today. We were very fortunate to win today. We didn't have the faster car. Ron Hutter and the whole crew, Kenny Matthews out there, they worked, Ben. We sent that motor out to them on Tuesday afternoon. We got it back in the car running Thursday night. Just incredible, totally rebuilt, and that's what saved us here tonight.
As you look back upon the 1989 season, what was the magic of Mike Stefanik and crew?
That big Ron Hutter power.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
You got to conserve my tires. I know Reggie is the way he is. He's the best driver on the tour.
Reggie, looked like you had the fastest car and you came flying up through there, and it just wasn't the right day.
No, flat tire right at the beginning of the race. Ran over some debris on the racetrack. Tire cut down, and I had a pit. And we had to start from the rear, and over here, you know, only 75 lap race, probably ran 20 laps of caution, so we only raced for 50 laps, and I had to, you know, go from the rear to the front as fast as I could, and I started to burn the tires up getting there, but they weren't all that bad. Then I caught Mike, and he was blocking, but hey, I would have did the same thing to win the championship, and I gave it all I had. At the end, he came up one spot ahead of me, but it was a good race.
How hard to take is it that the whole season comes down to one cut tire or one 75-lap race?
I was wishing that it just didn't come down to anything like this that happened today. I wish we could have just raced, you know, on the racetrack, whatever happened, happened. You know, Mike lucked out today. I had a flat. He could have had a flat. I could have lucked out, you know, but I did catch him at the end, and I showed him that, you know, he had to work for his win, for his fourth place finish. It didn't come easy for him, so I'm happy for Mike, but I wish I won.
Hey. Tony, at the start of this event, you drew the number 1, and you said that's the position that you were after. You maintained it throughout the event, but Mike McLaughlin really gave you a run for the money.
He did, you know, he kept the pressure on, he kept us running hard, you know, but he wasn't really the problem. We were worried back further, and, you know, them guys just didn't finish back far enough. I did what I had to do, win the race and get as many points as I could, but them guys just ended up 4th and 5th, and, you know, it wasn't good enough.
You've run real well here at the Thompson Speedway this year, perhaps better than any other season for you in the competition. How do you feel about it looking back?
Real good. You know, there's still some improvements on the car. I don't think we're quite as quick as Reggie and Mike at some points on the track, but and our cars responded real well this year with all the good finishes we had, all top 5 finishes, and we're looking forward to next year. We have a few ideas to make a couple changes on the car, and I think we can be quicker yet.
Recapping the 1989 season, how do you feel about all of this? I mean, at the start of this year, a lot of people didn't really know who you were, but you proved them all wrong, and you were more than just an average contender.
I always felt, you know, that I could run with the front guys, but I just never had the opportunity to do it. And this team here gave me the shot 4 years ago, and we come a long way from running just back home at Shangri-La and Spencer Speedway and Oswego. And like I said, in the 4 years, you know, it's just been great. We got to thank all our sponsors back home. Clark Concrete, Universal Joint Sales, VP Racing Gas, Bob Bernona puts together these motors for us. They all did a super job. It was just a team effort. You know, I'm looking forward to 1990.
40 cars full, and Billy Ryder points to turn 4 as Dave Balser just rode off 40 full cars of Pro 4 cars here today. 40 automobiles signed in the pits for the main event here today. 25 laps the distance. First event of the BFI World Series of Speedway Racing today.
Billy Ryder drops the green flag, and we're underway as Dave Matondo takes the 25 to a 2-car length advantage as they head down the first turn. 2 and 3 wide down the front straightaway. They all make it into the turn. It's Matondo out front. Savory down slides up into the second spot. Here comes Rondo in third. Ross Gazelle 9 of Sands third as he started in the 8th position and now sits into the 4th spot.
Started to the inside, makes his move as they come to the line. Comes up into the 4th spot now, and Connor 09, he's on the move. Down to the
The green is out and we're underway. Richard Savory leads the pack down to front straightaway. Stearns right on his rear bumper. Now taking a peek to the inside. Can he get him? Mark White as Savory uses the momentum on the high bank off the second turn and carries the both cars down the back straightaway. It's still Richard Savory, Sam Stearns, Dave Matondo. Here comes the 15 of Dick Houlihan. The 21 of George Savory, Roger Rondo, and the 1 of Dan Missouri Jr. Trouble up into the third and fourth turn as Kenny Ross scoops the car as the yellow is now back out onto the field.
Stern to the outside as they come off turn 4, looking for the start. We're back underway.
Well, looks like Stearns falls right in behind the line of Richard Savory, but down a front stretch, he looks to the inside and takes over the top spot as they head to the work turn 1 and 2. But Savory battles right on back, but the power of the Toyota automobile pushes the 09 out front by inches over the 9 of Savory. Savory still working in the high side. Meanwhile, the 15 of Dick Houlihan is lit up into the third spot with Fernando running 4th.
Savory keeping the left front planted right on the outside of the 09 of Sammy Stern. As they head off turn 2, Stern goes by the left car and now pulls up into the lead. Dropping Richard number 21 as they roll back to the line. Complete lap number 6. It is Sam Stern up in front in car number 09.
Stern still holds about a 4-car advantage over Savory. Then comes Houlihan, Matondo. George Savory sits next, then it's Roger Rondo. Dan Missouri Jr., Mike Casey. Here comes Joe LeMay doing an outstanding job as he started way back into the field.
Joe LeMay trying to carve his way up. He's up on the back bumper of car number 8 for Mike Casey. And he's trying to pick up another notch as they roll off turn 2. Car number 1 for Dan Missouri Jr. also making
about a corner-length lead over the 15 of Houlihan. There's a great battle right there. It's Houlihan in the 15, Matondo. Now here comes Father George by Matondo. As it looks like Dan Matondo is off the pace as they slide through turns 3 and 4. Here it comes. It's still Houlihan sits in the third spot. Savory is 4th. Dan Missouri Jr. pushes Roger Rondo down the front stretch to round out the top 6 spots.
Tough break for Dave Matondo, and that is going to force the caution flag as Dave comes down to turn number 1. Car very, very slow up on the outside of the racetrack, and the way the cars are strung out around the speedway, they're kind of crossing the pit, so the caution flag is out. Third time, this one is on lap number 9 for Dave Matondo, who is running up in the top 5 before the race.
One car. Off the fourth corner they come. Billy Ryder drops the green and we're underway once again. It's a side-by-side battle. Sam Stearns, Richard Savory. Here comes George Savory. As now Dick Houlihan seems to be off the paces. Dan Missouri Jr. now slides up into the 4th spot.
Houlihan falls back a notch as Missouri moves up. And you can see now Houlihan well off the pace to the inside of the racetrack, diving down into turn 1. So a tough break for Dick Houlihan as we complete lap number start finish line to bring out the caution flag with 10 laps in the record books.
The 4th turn they come. Billy Ryder getting set on the green. He does so with back on the way. It's a side-by-side battle between Sam Stearns, Richard Savory, and George Savory. Off the second turn, Savory still using the high line. This is still Sam Stearns now pulling out ahead by a car like the advantage over Richard Savory. George Savory now running in the 3rd spot. Still in the 4th position as Dan Missouri seems like.
As I
drops the green, and we're back on the ways. Now, George Sanders is alongside Sam Stern, but drops in behind Sanders. They head into turn one. It's still Stearns out front. George Sanders now in second. Then comes the third place car of Dan Meserve Jr. Sitting in the fourth spot, it's Bill Schultz. Then comes Meserve Sr. into the fifth position. Roger Rondo sits next, and then comes the 8 of Mike Casey.
Schultz gets way up high as they exit turn number 4, and you begin to wonder if maybe he's having problems or if the car just got away from him for a second. It cost him a spot as Dan Meserve moved into the 4th position. In the 21, and then Meserve Sr. and Jr. running side by side in the 1 and in the 11. Jr. has the 1, Daddy has the 11A, and Jr. has the advantage into turn number 3 as he smokes that left rear tire. Back to the start-finish line, Sam Stern is still in command.
I just wonder if Senior brought off the pace link.
Battling it out, the 1 and the 11A as they duke it out for positions 3 and 4. Problems over the backstretch as we have a car spun into the infield. Billy Leda looks that situation over. It appears as though we may.
Across the stripe with 1 more lap to go. Looking for his home run here today in 1989.
White flag is out as they head back to the start-finish line. It'll be the checker next time around.
Working his way down the back straightaway, it's still Stearns out front. The great battle is for the second and third spots. Off the fourth corner, it's Stearns looking for that victory as the checker flag is waving, and he's got it. Second belongs to the 21. Looks like Dan Meserve Jr. edges out that from the 4th spot. Then comes the 38. Billy Schultz into the 5th position. It looks like the 29 of Roger Rondo doing an outstanding job rounding out the top 6 spots. Once again, as he'll be stopping at the start-finish line to receive all his accolades. By the way, that automobile is for sale.
A lot of tradition is built up. Something that added. First time in Thompson, courtesy this one. The Northeastern Midget Association drive turn in their 4-wide parade lap order. Grab something white, your programmer, your handkerchief, your hat. Stand up, stomp your feet, yell and cheer, because here we go. The Northeastern Midget Association is coming at you. Down the front stretch. Everybody's waving. They do appreciate it, and they wave back to indicate it. Now this time around, they're going to get back into their double file order. Chris Kennedy, Greg Storr, Keith Botello, Rick Hart, Andy Smith, Frank Antono, Bobby Eldridge are ready to go in turn 3, coming out of turn 4, coming down toward that stripe, and the green is up. Into turn 1 from the outside, Doug Cleveland grabs the early lead. Jim Miller comes through behind him. They went through there 4 wide, but everybody made it. Nicky Fenora comes out into 4th spot. Joey Coy, who was going to try and take it a little bit easy, is now in 5th spot, coming right up the middle. Fenora slides down the inside, slashes through into 4th. His only hope is to win. He's going to do it. Joey Coy's up in 5th. Doug Cleveland still in front. In the Chevy 2, then Jim Miller in the Cosworth. Noki Fenora in the Pontiac, Drew Fenora in the Pontiac, Joey Coy in an Arias. Halfway into the Arias, on the top 6 cars. Jim Miller now has the point. Noki Fenora works his way under the way, doing this time. Cleveland looks high though, and Noki has the lead coming down through, comes through right behind him. Jim Miller with that Farnsworth power. That's the engine that you might have seen win a number of races in those USAC racing series on Thursday nights this past summer. The Farnsworth is hammered out front today. Gene Angelillo, Steve Cars with Noki Fenora and Drew Fenora are running second and third. Joey Coy in a comfortable 5th, and we have a spin there. Coming out of turn 2, and whoops! We have an say as Drew Fenora has gone up in smoke, and that will automatically make Joey Coy the 1989 Northeastern Midget Association champion. Here's a car that has had just an amazing record of finishing races. He went more than 5 years without missing the main event with the Northeastern Racing Association. And this year has just had all kinds of trouble. And knocked him out of any hopes for the championship. Right by Jim Miller takes the lead. Joey Coy drops into third, Doug Cleveland fourth, which he may be about to lose as he's got a passel of fast cars right behind him. Mike Favuli, a couple guys get a little squirrely. Favuli drops by the inside, and it's Favuli that comes out of that fast fourth. And wow, right into the twin upside down goes Brian Costello. I think he blew a tire. I'm sorry, that's Jim Miller. That's Jim Miller in the Cosworth. Jim Miller in the 12th Cosworth. All of a sudden there was a puff of smoke, and he just turned right into the wall. Might have been a stuck throttle, and the smoke was while he had the brakes locked up, trying to stop it. We'll wait from the NEMA officials on the spot. And of course, with the car upside down, we have an immediate red flag as in all open wheel racing. Report from the scene is that Jim Miller is okay. Pleasant sight. It's going to be a tough winter for Jim Miller. That is going to be one very bent race to have you. We not only have the awards for all the up-to-date guys, we generally get a few antique cars and a few, let us call them, veteran drivers and owners and mechanics come to enjoy the evening with us. Rick Hartley with us minute in the fifth. That's the money out going away in once again. Favuli down on the bottom tries to make a big move, can't do it. As so hangs in there way up high, takes third from Cleveland, dives down on the corner, can't quite do it. Coming off the fourth turn again, it's still low. Joey Coy trying to Mike Favuli. Doug Cleveland in a Chevy 2, much underpowered compared to all those alloy engines around him. He's hanging on the fifth. Sixth. Look at the battle. A couple of youngsters there. Chris or Glenn Cabral running side by side here for seventh. Opie and Joey comfortably in front, but Mike Favuli is getting impatient, sneaking under Brian Caruso. And coming out of turn 4, Favuli has turn 5. Takes off after Coy. Joey Coy tucks it in, and Coy has him down the back stretch. So following him through on the outside to take over. And the yellow came right out again. As we had a spin. Coy. Coy gets that right again, comes back around by Caruso. John Acorn, 78, and slows down on the back foot. Coach Cable makes it off the track in turn 3. Mike Fabuli out in front now. Joey Coy second, Brian Caruso third. Halfway this time by. Halfway from Mike Fabuli. Joey Coy now right on his bumper. Halfway. As Coy continues to hang right on Fabuli's bumper. Maya moving on the bottom side of Caruso. Red Maya's a rookie. The midget, but not a rookie. Mike Fabuli has opened it up a little bit once again. Coy not able to get right close to him. Through turns 1 and 2. Red Maya goes under Caruso and third. Red Maya now closes up a little bit on Coy. He actually seems to have found the right here as the race goes on. Joy has passed Doug Cleveland for 5th. Cleveland is fighting back there in turns 1 and 2. That's your battle for 5th coming out of turn 2. As Fabuli, Coy, and Reckmeyer continue to be 1, 2, 3. Caruso's all by himself in 4th. Joy has that. He's spun solidly now. Fabuli moves out a little bit. Reckmeyer's going after Coy. Reckmeyer moves low. Coy says no way. Comes off high on turn 2. Hangs onto it. Not a bad stretch. Those lap cars are in the way. Coy moves out to the outside. Which way is he going to go? Reckmeyer's coming over. Fabuli wins it. Coy hangs on for second. The NEMA championship. Here's your 4th place car, Brian Caruso. Here comes the battle for 5th. Doug Cleveland has come back around the outside. Cleveland has 5th over Michael LaJoy.
You had a lot of heavy hitters in front of you, but you seem to make it through.
We weren't here to qualify a couple of weeks ago. We couldn't make it here, and we had to start in the back. So when we got that first yellow there, I figured this is going to help me a lot, and it did. But the car was working super.
Well, I'll tell you, Drew Finoro had his problems. He dropped out, and you knew you had a lot of cars in front of you that were still going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, Brian Caruso gave a heck of a run there. Brian and I were going at it tooth and nail, and so was Joey Coy. When the last restart started, we were three abreast coming down the start and finish line, and nobody was given. It was good.
Well, Mike, what's the story now? You know, you got a winter to think about what the season was like. What are you going to be doing?
We're going to be having a serious winter of board meetings and rules meetings, and we're going to get together and we're going to get this thing straightened out for sure for the fans and for the promoters. And for SM LaRusso, who has stuck by us all year, our sponsor. That's what I can say.
up in front. In second is Martel. Third is Larry Record as they head down the back straightaway to turn 3. Dan Sewell is fourth. Bentley Warren is yet to make his move up to the front. He's nestled back in about 8th spot. Number 61.
The 97 of Howie Lane out of Houston with the 11 of Larry Record as they go down that back straightaway. Lane with about a 5-car length advantage with only 2.5 laps complete. Back to the start-finish line. It is Lane, Record, Martel, and car number 23 for Mike Douglas, who has moved up from the 8th starting spot all the way up to 4th in just a matter of a lap. Then comes car number 00 for Joe Gossett, the 32 for Sewell. That's how they work their way back.
Bentley Warren has yet to make his move up through traffic, as has Doug Hemron. Both drivers fired back outside of the top 5 as they roll back to line 4. Doug Hemron and Russ Dillon and moves on up a notch. He is now in the 7th spot in car number 61. And here comes Doug Hemron trying to take 8 as they head down the back straightaway.
Hemron down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Car number 1, that beautiful black machine, back to the start-finish line. Pulls up behind former teammate. Turn number 2, it'll be over back to the start-finish line. Bentley Warren is on a roll with car number 61.
Bentley tucks it down underneath Dan Sewell, takes over a spot. And Bentley is the man of the move. He's up to 6 now. In car number 61 and is closing down the back bumper on the wheel. He will displace that race car very quickly. That's Mike Thomas. Mike is now back to 6th. Moving up to 5th is the great one, Big Ben. Bentley Warren has moved up another now. This time, here comes Joe Gosick in the 00. Gosick takes over the 3rd spot as Larry Record is closed into the back bumper of Howie Lane. Here comes Big Ben. He's down underneath. Scott Martel, and he's into 4th.
The chimes are ringing on Big Ben this afternoon, and he picks off another one. A challenge for the lead, and we've got a whole slew of changes. Out front now is Larry Record with car number 11, and he picks up the lead from Howie Lane. All of that happening while Joe Gosick and Bentley Warren trying to run down the flying front runner.
3rd is Joe Gosick in the 00. Back in
Advantage of Bentley Warren. All eyes, of course, on Bentley just based on his performance here 3 weeks ago, and the record that he's had here at the Thompson Speedway over the years. Bentley Warren on the 2nd turn, trying to reel in Joe Gosick in car number 00. Now Larry Record in car number 11, your leader, exit turn number 4, followed by the 97 of Howie Lane. 3rd is Billion of Wonder if Bentley is just taking life easy. With a total of 17 laps to make this time by make it 18. But there are 50 laps scheduled in this race. Bentley Warren may in fact just be your leader. The battle for 2nd between Joe Gosick and Howie Lane is a real nail-biter as Gosick drops down low, makes the move in turn 1, and Joe Gosick has now picked up that 2nd spot as they head back to turn number 3.
20 laps down, 30 up this time is Record continues to hold on with a comfortable margin over the 00. Doug Hemron has moved the number 1 car, Mike Barnard Chevrolet super modified up into the 5th position as they head off turn 2. Larry Record has really had his team made through the year. Running through live traffic, and Bentley Warren has moved up right to the back bumper on the 97 Howie Lane. So there are 21 laps down as they head back to turn 1.
Problems that are beginning to develop on one of the race cars out there, and we're going to keep a very close eye on the left rear wheel of car number 97 going in through turns 3 and 4. It appears as though there may be some suspension problems to develop on that car as he heads deep into turn number 1. You'll notice the car bouncing an awful lot, Rich, as he went in that time and the time before. Meanwhile, Bentley Warren drops down low, picks up another spot from left traffic.
And this is not much. He's only a third of the 25 laps. That was a surprise because Bentley was the fastest thing on wheels here. After one of these is playing all he's got. A big lead in turn 3 as they are running a lot of traffic. Larry Record to the outside. Goes to the inside. 3 wide to the line. Record holds on as the 380 car is right in the way. That's Dave Simard, but everybody cruises through it in turn 3, and that'll bring the yellow out.
Martel doing a tremendous job hanging on to that race car since the rerun down onto the racetrack, but all in all, Martel fortunate to keep the car down off the speedway, off the wall. But brings out the first caution of the event. Car number 11, Larry Record, out in front. Joe Gosick of the 00 runs in that second spot. In the third position is 61 of Bentley Warren.
First caution in the event. This one's coming out on line. Here comes Gosick. Still wide in the left.
Larry Record, once again, leads the back to turn number 1. Joe Gosick runs in that second spot. Third is the 61 of Bentley Warren. As the two leaders begin to pull away just a little bit from Bentley. We'll see if he's able to reel them in as they enter turn number 4. Back to the start-finish line. In left of Record. The 00 of Gosick, the 61 of Bentley Warren. A real battle for the lead. Gosick on the high side. Drops right back in now. Takes the inside. Makes better run and backs off.
Good battle for the top 3 spots. There's Bentley Warren sitting behind, watching the action. He's the best seat in the house. In that number 61, but you know, Bentley doesn't want to be a spectator. He wants to be involved. He's going to try to stick to those actions. Number 61 on the field way up there as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It is the 11 of Record. Local driver up in front. The 00 racing in the 61 of Jim Ben. He makes his move for the runner-up spot.
Bentley way down low. Gosick is able to hang on to the high movement. Bentley trying to make that motion into turn number 1. And back in right behind the 00 of Gosick. Back to turn 4. They head down the main straightaway. They keep up with Record. The 0 of Gosick, the 61 of Warren. They're up 1, 2, 3.
Down the back straightaway they go. And off that second turn, Bentley makes his move, and the 2 cars touch. Gosick does a beautiful job to keep that race car off the wall. He got on the brakes, and you can see Gosick has a flat left front tire. In the 00, he pulls off the racetrack, and the yellow flag is out. We've got trouble. It could be the 97 car of Howie Lane to bring out the yellow flag.
We will look for the green. Larry Record jumps on the throttle. The green flag is out and back to the start-finish line. Larry Record. That's how they run back to turn number 1.
Down to the first turn, it is Record still in front. Another driver to watch is the 09, Bobby Fitzpatrick. The son-in-law of Bugsy Stevens, running along in 4th spot right now in the 09 out of Avon, Massachusetts. They come to the line. It is Record Warren with 14 laps to go as the action heats up. At the front of the pack, Gosick now trying to work his way up through the first 00. Carving his way up through traffic. As Warren takes a peek to the inside, there will be 13 laps to go as they roll off turn 4 this time. It is still Record leading. Down the first corner.
Larry Record sure has his hands full as he knows Bentley Warren is right there on the rear bumper. Cameron gets dropped, kicks back, and suddenly Bob Fitzpatrick in the 09 moves in to play that third sport lead. And Fitzpatrick now begins to work his way to the front. Car number 09.
27 car, I believe, is a lap down. That is Russ Warren. I don't believe that's a passing position. I think Hebron is still there in the 5th. Well, you've got 11 laps to go. It is still Larry Record, car number 11, holding off the veteran Bentley Warren, who was a heavy favorite going into the World Series today. 11 Larry Record as they come up on Dave Smart, who was a lap car in the middle of earlier today, and he gets in the way again, but fortunately for Larry Record, he pulls to the inside of the racetrack, and Larry is able to hold on to the top spot. Bentley Warren still there, the hunter, back in the runoff spot, trying to close the gap, fighting the race cars. They go off turn 7 long shots.
The laps continue to tick away. 44 complete. Bentley still on the rear bumper. The hunter and the hunted as they head down the back. We'll bring them back to the start-finish line. Trouble over in turn number 2 as Joe Gosick has gone around with a 00. We also have a car spun into the infield. And it appears Bentley Warren off the turn. Westwood holds on to the 3rd spot. Doug Hebron is in 4th. Here comes Dan Sewell with the 32. laps remain to be run. Here comes your leader. Start-finish line where Dick Brooks has the white flag. And 1 lap remains to be run. Larry Record in car number 11. Bentley Warren in for second. Russ Wood holding on to that third spot. Down Hebron, here they come. Checkers flag is out for Larry Record. Larry Record, Bentley Warren, and Russ Wood run 1, 2, and 3. Doug Hebron finishes in the 4th spot, and Dan Sewell
action. Well, Larry Record calls him the gas man, and that's Bentley Warren. And Larry Record, you held him off again today.
Yeah, he was there, though, him and Joe Gosick. I seen Joe once come down on the bottom there in one of those lap cars, and I knew had to really stand on it. They were there.
Well, Larry, I'll tell you, Joe Gosick and Bentley were doing a big battle for second place, and you knew that either one of them were going to be coming up on you real quick. What were you going to do when they were going to start banging on your back door?
Well, I don't know. I just, you try to save the car as best you can and everything. But I knew, like on one of those restarts, I looked at the lap counter and down there and where everybody who was behind me. And I see Joe Gosick and Bentley, and I knew, I said, well, these two guys, they're more interested with one another at this time. And, that gave me a little bit more time so that, and then at the end of it, things worked out. I did save the car enough, and, Bentley couldn't get by. So, but we were running real good. They changed this motor, and they really did a lot of work to it from the last time we were down here. And I just can't say enough about all the guys and everything that work on this. And, Ricky at R&R, I mean, they really give me a lot of horsepower, and you need horsepower down here.
Well, Larry, I'll tell you, you've had a great fall lineup here. What things looking like for next year?
Well, next week we go to the Lee Banquet. Then we go on a cruise. And I don't know. Vic is starting on a new car, and I don't know. We've been going along for 3 years now, and 4 years, and it's a good team, and everybody works good together, and pretty tough to beat us in an overall thing. They're just real good people, and I can only drive the car as fast as the car will go, and that I owe a lot to the guys that work on it, and Vic and puts it together, and Ricky. It doesn't break, and it just goes fast.
Warren, they call you the gas man, and you certainly proved it today as you came from mid-pack, and you made it all the way up to the front, battling with Joe Gosick and eventually catching up with Larry Record.
Yeah, we were trying hard, but Larry was just doing a heck of a job. He was running as good as he was at Lee a couple weeks ago, and we just couldn't work on him. I mean, he was out driving me and outrunning me. He just was running real good.
Yeah, you seem to be running well also, but you had a little trouble there. You got alongside Joe Gosick coming out of 2, and you bumped a little bit.
Yeah, coming out of 2, I don't know if I slid up into him or he got me, whatever. We came to some lap traffic. I slowed down just a hair, and when I did, I was sliding up, and we both hit.
Do you think you could have gotten by Joe a little easier? I mean, both of you were battling, both of you seem to be pretty equal.
Yeah, I think we were both running real close. One time I tried to get by him coming down the front chute, and he came down pretty good, and, I ran out of racetrack.
Equal distance, here they come. Bobby G to bring them down to the line, and the green flag is up.
Down to the first turn, we got Bobby G rolled down to the corner. There's the 18 of Jack Goff going down to the first turn. McCarthy runs in fourth, and here comes Roy Scott Hicks on the outside to take over fifth. Goff on the inside, storming up here, takes over second from Bobby G. Now challenging as McCarthy gets loose right in front of the pack, then he spins to the inside of the racetrack, and everybody makes it past.
Up the lead as they exit turn number 2. The 38 of Sylvester getting booted around off that second turn. Costs him several spots, and suddenly Norm Plantier appears to be in trouble with car number 14 as Norman drops way off the pace up high on the racetrack. AJ Goff out in front. Bobby G runs second. Wheeler is in the third spot. Then it is Hanks.
Heads back behind the pit wall. Good battle for third spot now between right. Number 41, Brian McCarthy rides third. Fourth, car number 3 for Tom Tag. And in fifth, heading down the back straightaway and into the Ledger on the inside of Brian McCarthy. And he moves up through, takes over another spot. On the inside, John Janovic has a problem down in turn 1, and that brings out the first caution of the race. One brings out the caution flag here. Points to turns 3 and 4. That's where he wants to start to come. And J.J. Goff, trying to win his first race of the year, is at the point. Alongside Bobby G, then John Ledger, and flying Brian McCarthy. Green flag is out. Look at the jump Tom Fern got. Right down the inside, passing a couple of cars right down the inside of the racetrack.
J.J. Goff out front, running one of the best races, in fact, the best race he has all season. Ledger gets booted around, and he takes Goff with him. J.J. Goff gets a drop kick right off the second turn, and Goff finds himself from first to last in a matter of about 3 seconds. That puts Bobby G out in front with car number 16, but we've got problems over in turn number 3. The Wilcox machine is involved. The Tom Carey car number 5 is involved. The 47 of Fox, the 53 of Young, and there is one other car.
Car number Schofield out of Gardner, Massachusetts. Stood on the brakes, but the car just wouldn't stop in time, and he tagged the back end of the Wilcox automobile. Carey in the 5 and the 67.
Side by side, J.J. Goff jumps on the gas. Here comes the green, and the wheel rumbles off of turn number 4. Goff slides to the center of the racetrack, takes up the groove. Here comes Ledger down on the low side. And Goff and Ledger gives it out for that first position. Ledger down on the bottom of the track has a slight advantage off of turn number 2. Goff pulls right up alongside and inches ahead, but Ledger will have the advantage into turn number 3. Ledger, Goff, side by side with Brian McCarthy running in the 3rd spot. McCarthy now pulls up alongside of Goff, but Goff just inch out ahead as they run 3 wide in the battle for 4th.
John Ledger's first win was the non-qualifiers race here last season, when he picked up his 2nd career feature win this year. And he was well on his way to another one here today as we are approaching the halfway point. But a driver to watch is car number 28, Mike Clementry, in the Plymouth Duster. Wanders of Waterville automobile working his way up the traffic. On the 4th, and now it's 3rd as he shoots past J.J. Goff to take over the 3rd spot. He has really got that little Plymouth on a roll.
That car led nearly all of the Northeast 100 Classic, only to come up short as he was up in turn number 3. He is back now, looking to pick up a win as he's got trouble over turn number 4.
Scott Hanks and the other 2 really tagged the wall out there in turn number 4. George Lockwood also going around as we are at the halfway mark, completing lap number 10, and the caution flag flies. But a lot of banging going on out here. Flying and Brian McCarthy, they come out door handle to door handle.
It is Ledger who leads them back to turn number 1. Young Johnny Ledger with Clementry down low underneath the 41 of McCarthy. Back to that back straightaway. It is the 28 now into 2nd, and he'll set his sights on car number 11. So it is Ledger, Clementry, McCarthy, the 3 of Tag, the 16 of Bobby G. That's in car number 18. The 30 of Larry Master, the 92 of Tom Fern. Here comes Mike Christopher, the 41, rolling the Tiger Lee Hollywood Auto Machine deep into turn number 3. It's a 3-way bumper-to-bumper battle for the lead as they head back to the start-finish line.
Ledger looks to the inside of Ledger as they go to turn 1, and Ledger runs a block right across the racetrack, and Ledger with Mike does not win. He keeps the nose in there. Mike, a very experienced race car driver, down the inside of the racetrack trying to hold off Johnny Ledger. Ledger shuts the door again this time. Mike decides he'll give it a try at another time, and this time Ledger slips up the racetrack, and now Mike Clementry gets a full shot on the outside, and he'll take the lead as they go back to turn 1.
Clementry makes that move bang down on the inside. Ledger gets dropped back into the 2nd spot. McCarthy sits back there in 3rd. It is a good run for Brian McCarthy this afternoon.
Out with the 3 of Tom Tag with just 5 laps to go, 5 to go as they come off turn 4. Bobby G hangs it up, pulls up through to take the 4th spot. In car number 16, Tom Tag, falls back to 5th. Vassar is 6th. Tom Fern, great run. Started 22nd, is up to 7th. And Mike Christopher also having a good run here today. Mike started back in.
Larry Vassar runs next in the 30. Then it is Tom Tag, Tom Fern, Mike Christopher, J.J. Goff, Conrad Cody, Ed Harrington, Wheeler, Green, in that order.
2 laps to go this time. To go. Speedway Racing.
White flag is out this time by
trouble out there in turn 2. You've got 3 and 4 cars together. Kevin Zarnecki is one of them. George Brayton, the number 21, is a second. And Bobby Skinger in the 88, the third automobile involved. With 1 lap to go. Yeah, auto parts. Green flag is out, and Ledger gets a nice jump on Ledger, but John comes back to the inside as they come off turn 4. Ledger hangs on. Bobby G gets up on the wall. He's turned sideways. Hits the wall, but does a nice job to save the race car. Everybody rolls into turn 1. Conrad Cody this time is up in the wall, scraping the concrete all the way around the racetrack, but he's
back to the pack. White flag is out, and we're into the final circuit. They're 3 wide, pretty deep in the back, looking for running space as Tony moves up through the pack. They're 4 wide for just a second as they approach turn number 1. Everybody makes it through. They remain 3 wide, deep in the back. Car number 28 heads off the turn and down to the stripe. It is Levetri, followed by Leisure. Mike Levetri takes down the win. Finishing in second is car number 11 for John Ledger. Then it is the 41 of Brian McCarthy. The 30 of Larry Vassar. Tag to round up the top 5. That works the 55 is basically the same crew that works the 66. That's the Brad LaFontaine crew. And they went together first time together down at Martinsville. They get the proper setup, get hooked up, and win the race. Speaking of the race, the green flag is out and down the line. They run 3 abreast. It's 86 of Georgitis. Leads it into turn number 1. Georgitis, Willie Hardy. That's the way they run as Phil Rondo gets down low off the racing surface through the water, but gets back out onto the racetrack. Trouble develops big puff of smoke, but everybody appears to be okay. Back to the start-finish line, it is Georgitis and Hardy who lead the charge.
Tom Tag is off the pace in the 3, and he's going to retire the Maxxis Motors. Number 3 Chevrolet to the infield pit area. It's up right for Tom in his first modified race. Calling it an early evening here in car number 3. They come back off turn 4 to the line, and it is car number 86, Bob Georgitis. Up in front as they roll back to the line. Second spot, Willie Hardy, George Bruce. Out of Oakesville, Connecticut, runs 3rd. Jeff Barry is 4th. Scott Corman rounds out the top 5 as Dave Brissett. Car he's going to try to lift to the inside of the racetrack.
Caution flag up down here on the front straightaway. Tom Tag in the Maxxis Motors machine will head into the pit area.
Fontaine Chevrolet.
Looks like we could get a restart. Dick Brooks stares him down. Here they come. Willie Hardy jumps on the throttle. The outside row moves. The inside row stays put. And so does the caution flag.
All right, we'll have to try it one more time as everybody gets back in order. To turn 3, it is Georgitis trying to hold on to the lead in this Winston Racing Series Modified feature event. Willie Hardy on the outside as they stand on the throttle. There's the green flag, and Georgitis has the lead as they come to the line. Hardy is second. Drops right down to the inside in a nice move. Trying to scoop up. First place running Bob Georgitis. Trouble there in turn 1. Everybody piling up. We've got at least 4 cars involved. And the caution flag comes right back out.
Eddie Lateral, car number 81, Eddie Spires.
George Moose Hewitt out of Uncasville, the veteran driver back there in 3rd. Field comes off turn 4. Green flag is out, and Georgitis is back in front. And here comes Moose down to the inside. He gets sideways. Straightens up the race car, manages to hold on as they go to turn 1.
Moose Hewitt trying to pick up the spot. He was unable to, but he now runs under Willie Hardy. Ted Christopher gets drop kicked about 12 spots back. We've got a car that spins on the back straightaway. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it is the 16 of Rick Turner in that one. And down the back straightaway he goes. Meanwhile, the 86 of Georgiades continues to set the pace here this evening. As he is deep into turn number 3. Moose Hewitt runs in the second spot. Jeff Barry slides down through the infield and up onto the racetrack. The 22 of Jeff Barry, as he tries desperately to start the race car in.
Had a problem going down into the corner. The smoke came out, and there is definitely a little bit of liquid in the race. It is out, and Hewitt is on the outside of Georgiades as they come to the line. Georgiades holds on. Foreman moves through as we have got a real tight bunch of cars down into turn 1. A very hard hit by a couple of race cars into the first turn inside the car. So it looks like he is all right. The other driver involved, Ed Spires, in the 3 underway with Georgiades still in front for the first 5 laps. Hewitt on the outside as they come to the line looking for the start. Bronco off the pace in the 13. He's high on the racetrack. He stays on the brakes. Bronco. As cars go sliding down into turn 1, the caution flag stays out. As now Rocco gets
lights around, we'll look for a start. Dick Brooks steers him down. Georgiades will try one more time. Green is out. The Snake runs the car up through the gears, down the front straightaway. Scott Gorman goes for a slide with car number 99. He gets the car headed in the right direction. It goes from. Meanwhile, back on turn number 2, it is the 86 of Georgiades, the 19 of Hewitt, the 21 of Willie Hardy. Down the inside of car number 31 for Bob Potter. That's the Coors machine. Off the turn and back to the stripe. Georgiades continues to lead.
Reg also trying to find his way by. He is on the inside now. He was outside of Potter, and he saw that Potter was going to make the move to the inside of Hardy. So he dropped the 44 to the inside of the racetrack, and he is right in the back bumper of Potter now as they run down into turn 3. But Mike Christopher in the 82 challenging as well. But Potter to the inside of Protheus. Bob Potter in the Coors Dodge has moved up to 2nd spot. And here comes Ruggiero following through on the inside to take over 3rd in the Variety Auto Duraflex Pontiac.
Down the back straightaway, Bob Potter, who started deep in the pack, now finds himself in 2nd, right behind the race leader, Bob Georgiades. Off the turn and down to the stripe. Potter pulls him alongside. And at the line, Bob Potter emerges as the new leader as they complete lap number 8. Bob Potter now begins to pull ahead. Willie Hardy almost gets around sideways off of turn number 2.
Got to get a call to 8th place runner Ed St. Angelo. He started 31st after winning the Consi, and he is really running very well. It's been several years since Ed has been back behind the wheel of an open-wheel race car. In a pro stock, but he is also on the Busch Grand National North Tour, and he's running a Winston Racing Series modified here tonight. And
Tizzy going down the back straightaway, nearly a half of straightaway, a half a track length rather, behind the leader, Bob Potter.
Potter running away as Mike Christopher now moves up to 3rd under Bruce Hewitt, rounding up the top 5 in this Winston Racing Series modified feature.
Laps continue
to turn 4, Willie Hardy routes the 19 of Bruce Hewitt. And everybody piles up out there in turn 4. Willie Hardy just drilled Bruce Hewitt out there in turns 3 and 4 and turned him right around in front of the rest of the pack. And
Bruce would have won the regional championship. Instead, he missed the regional championship by 5 points to Jan Leading. It has not been the best season for Reggie Ruggiero.
Green flag flies, and this one's back underway, but there's been a lot of drivers really would wish to be 2nd 4 years in a row in the Winston Modified Tour. Down the back straightaway, Ruggiero through to the back bumper of Potter. Christopher through to the back bumper of Ruggiero. 15 laps down, 15 to go. We have reached the halfway point of the marathon here today.
Back to turn 1, the lead trio off the 2nd turn. story of the weekend as Tremblay virtually destroyed that race.
He's all about. They went home, worked all night long, got the race car back here today, and he is good. Frank Hurt's back bumper, pounding him as they go down the straightaway.
Ron Rocco, who has started in the back 3 times, has worked his way back up as well. He's right directly behind the 22 of Jim Barry. All 3 of those drivers have done time in the pit side. Rocco gets a little bit out of shape. John Sneed also gets into trouble. They're able to put it back together, but it costs Rocco 1 position on the racetrack, but yet a lot of distance
on that battle. Down the straightaways, he literally pounds the back bumper of that number 24 car. That thing is really going to be bowed in by the time this one's done here today. Closes in, drills them again as they go down to turn 1. Keep your eyes on that battle for 6. Now, Mike Christopher has worked his way underneath the ledge out there in turn 3, and Tremblay again, drilling the back bumper of Frank Hurt out of the back chute. But Christopher has moved up to 2nd, dropping Ruggiero to 3rd.
The thing is letting a guy know you're there, but you can't drive through him.
And now Tremblay looks to the inside of Hurt, who gets up into the wall. And the yellow flag is out as we've got 2 cars colliding in the back straightaway. The 97 of Danny Botke and 1 other automobile.
Great activities and something you don't want to miss.
Okay, Green is back out, and Christopher keeps the car tight on the outside, and Potter, though, pulls away and holds on to the lead in car number 82. Car number 31, Bob Potter up in front. Christopher 2nd at 82, and trouble in turn 1. Eddie St. Angelo tags the wall as he and John Sneed get together out there in turn number 1. Nailing the wall quite hard in his brother's modified. And this word from the scene, Reggie Ruggiero in 3rd spot as they come to the line. The green flag flies, and it's Potter to assume command again. Christopher falls in 2nd, Ruggiero 3rd, and Georgitis' back bumper is now going to feel the heat from Paul Tremblay.
Dropping off the pace considerably on that restart was Lloyd Agor. He's able to get it back together just a bit. Scott Norman also getting a little closer to the front after experiencing trouble early on. Meanwhile, it is still Potter out in front with car number 31. That's the Coors machine. 82 of Christopher, the 44 of the Red, as they work their way around turn number 2.
Spot. Hurt comes together with Sullivan, who slides up around the racetrack. Everybody really rim riding and holding on there as Frank Hurt and Glenn Sullivan came together coming out of turn 4, and both drivers did a great job. Mike Christopher, Reggie Ruggiero, and Paul Tremblay, who is having a tremendous run here today. And that car, in one of the first practice sessions yesterday, was completely destroyed.
Off the turn and back to the start-finish line. This time by, it is lap number 26 in the books. And it is the 31 of Bobby Potter out in front. Running next is the 82. And Tremblay now right on the rear bumper of Ruggiero. At the time by, 2 laps to go. 2 to go, says Dick Brooks. Off the turn and down to the line. Bob Potter looks to the start-finish line and sees the Popsicle 6 high in the air. Next time on, flag is out and heading to the line. It is Potter, followed by Christopher. Reggie Ruggiero, the 34 of Paul Tremblay, and the 86 of Bobby Georgitis. Bob here at the Thompson International Speedway by claiming victory in the 30-lap Winston Racing Series of Modified. Dick Brooks steering them down. Caruso now jumps on the throttle, and he leads them big time off the turn. It is a lead. And of course the caution comes out immediately, so that will solve that problem. Back to turn 3. Here we go.
pulls away from the seat. Pete Frappier looks to be the only other race car.
The green flag is out. Caruso leads the back line. Rosenfield, second here to the outside of it, out of the inside.
Eddie Carroll goes around in turn number 2. Everybody stacks up. Colson does a dance to get around that one in the 37. But McCallum finds his way around again, and it was triggered by Ed Carroll in the 14.
Green flag does come out, and for the third time, it is Dave Caruso here from the side of him. He's down on the inside of Jimmy Rosenfield. Side of him makes a move, picks up the second spot. Here comes Luke Pryor with a beautiful car to the 74. He's up into the 4th position. Suddenly, Pryor goes around. As two cars are involved, everybody tries to make it by. See if we can. Green flag back on. Dave Caruso once again leads them off the turn. Jimmy Rosenfield this time in second. Jeff Seidman drops back in for third.
Seidman this time couldn't make the move to take over the runner-up spot. And he's going to drop kick and settle back for third. Jimmy Rosenfield runs down to turn 3 as the runner-up in this race. 3 wide for a minute there in turn number 3. We had William in the middle, Rossi on the outside. Alley on the top of the racetrack in the NSS Pontiac. Everything worked out well. And Valley slides on up here to take over the 4th spot as we have completed 1 lap of this post-stock main event.
Working our way on lap number 2, it continues to be the 1X of Dave Caruso, the 44 of Jimmy Rosenfield, and the 37 of Jim Simon. Those are the 3 cars as we complete lap number 2. And it is Valley in the 14, the one of Houlihan, the 87 of Nimorowski, 83 of Marquis, the 03 of Gomer Taylor, and Taylor takes a look down low, makes a move, cannot quite put it together. The dynamic press company car is on a roll. Gomer Taylor just ahead of Chris Westcott.
Gomer was running pretty well here at Thompson 3 weeks ago on the Saturday qualifying. He was trying to make it work here today. Chris Prescott, the 88 track, is right there in 4th. Green flag drops, and this one's back underway.
Dave Caruso, Jimmy Rosenfield, and the 37 of Jeff Seidman. The story remains the same. Stay back to the line. Seidman this time has found running room underneath the 44, and they run side by side off the turn. Seidman goes into second, and he picks up that spot from Jimmy Rosenfield. Tony Papali now holds on for the second spot. Car number 1 for Nick Houlihan runs behind him. It's Joe Nimorowski, Chris Prescott taking his belt. His president's belt. He puts car number 17 up into the front of the pack. Down that long back straightaway. They continue to run hard and heavy.
Seidman trying to close in on the 1X of Caruso as they come off turn 4. Rosenfield and Cooper back in 3rd, and here comes Houlihan. Houlihan on the inside, trying to take over 4th spot. He does a beautiful job saving the car, and still manages to keep it alongside Papali's automobile. That car was completely sideways, and Houlihan managed to drive it out of turn number 2.
Tommy Bowles is getting 83, a real good ride here this evening. And he finds himself right behind Marino on the 53. Gomer Taylor is working him over in good
job he does. Tony Papali keeps the race car off the road. There's all over the racetrack, and everybody's sliding all over the place. And the yellow flag is out.
Papali was able to save the race car, but
It's Caruso on the outside, but Seidman has got the lead as they exit turn 2.
down that long back straightaway, Jeff Seidman in the Budweiser 37 now leads the pack off the full turn. It is Seidman followed by Caruso, the 1 of Nick Houlihan, the 44 of Jimmy Rosenfield, the 17 of Chris Prescott. That's the way they run with a total of 12 laps complete in this feature event. Double over in turn number It is car number 37 for Jeff Seidema. Finishing in the second spot, the 1X of Dave Caruso. So it is the Budweiser car that takes down the win here this afternoon, or make it this evening, in the Pro Stock feature event. Here at the Snap-on Tools BFI World Series of Speedway Racing.